Hello and welcome. This time we talk about children and childhood. What images represent a good childhood? What images represent your childhood? Was it a good childhood? What memories do you have from your childhood? Were those good days? What were your habits? What were your abilities? What things were you allowed to do? And what things could you not do? Do you have any special memory, a moment, an event? Did you have obligations in your childhood? Well, me in my childhood, I have good memories of it. I used to play with toys. I used to I used to get hugs from aunts and uncles. My mom used to make delicious food for me. So tell me about yours. Did you ever get sick? Were you a curious child? Were you afraid of something? Good. So, um, l- let's pick some topics for us to discuss your childhood. The first topic is school. Tell me about your school time when you were a child. Now, tell me another topic. Games. What games did you play? Other topics. House. Yes. Where did you live? How was your house? Another topic. Toys. What toys did you have when you were a child? Oh, I had two. When I was a child, I had to wash the dishes in my house. Wanted to. When I was a child, I wanted to go to the beach. What about you? Friends. Well, when I was a child, I had a best friend. His name was, oh gosh, I forgot his name. School. At school, when I was a child, I loved art and music, and I also loved mathematics. food and dessert. Mm, Let me think. I think my favorite food was mm, popcorn. Yes, that was my favorite food. I had to, I had to wake up early to go to school. Games, okay. I used to play uh, games on the street, okay? So I'll put it here for you. I used to play street games. Street games. All right. There you go. I used to play street games. How about you? Oh, I used to. When I was a child, I used to go to the church. Yes, I used to go to the church. Parties, okay. I loved birthday parties because I loved the balloons from the birthday parties. I used to get lots of balloons and bring them home. Parties, food, dessert, okay, not this one. Teachers, okay. I had a favorite teacher. I think, yeah, she was my math teacher in the third grade. Toys, okay, my favorite toy was a rollerblade. That's it. And finally, I loved to dance to I loved to dance to children's song. I would listen to the song, to put the song on the record player, and I would dance to the song. I loved to dance. Okay, I would put the music and dance to it. I would put the music on the recorder and dance to it. Okay, so this is this is a story about Charlie, and in this story we notice used to used to talk about events in a past from our memory, like our childhood time, from a period of time in the past. I used to. So, this is Charlie. When Charlie was a child, he used to go to the park with his granddad every Saturday. Charlie's granddad used to push him on the swings and play football with him. Charlie's granddad used to buy him an ice cream on the way home and tell stories. Now Charlie's granddad is very old and can't do those things. But now Charlie has his own son. He and his son go to the park every Saturday, and Charlie pushes his son on the swings and plays football with him. So, um, so tell about 3 to 5 things you used to do when you were a child. When I was a child, I used to I used to play street games. So tell me 2 things Charlie used to do with his granddad. Hmm? Yeah, Charlie used to go to the park with his granddad, and his granddad used to push him on the swing. That's right. So, um, after we introduced use to, we can use would to talk about specific things, specific events in sequence. I used to love children's song. In specific times, I would put the record to play and dance to it. So, let's practice a little bit more with used to. Complete the sentences with positive negative question form of used to using the verb in brackets. So here is verb to be. Sarah to be good at dancing. So the answer here is Sarah used to be good at dancing. How about you? Did you used to be good at dancing? 2. When I was young, I not eat fish, but now I eat it all the time. So, when I was young, I didn't didn't use to eat fish. I didn't used to eat fish, but now I eat it all the time. All right? Have. I have piano lessons. I don't have piano lessons in the present, but when I was a child, I used to have piano lessons. And where did they to school? Where did they use use to go to school? Okay, use to go because it's a question with did. Let's submit and see if we got it right. Excellent. Okay, excellent. Used to be. All right. So, questions with used to. Let me put it here for us. How can we make question? Because we see question and negative. Negative. All right. So for negative, I did or didn't, did not or didn't. I didn't use I didn't use to play football. Play football or soccer if you like. Okay? Didn't is the negative part with the auxiliary, and use is in the basic form or infinitive, and the rest to play football. So after use to, we use infinitive again, use to play football. Now the question, what do we change for the question? For example, I used to dance. I used to dance. Now I'll make the question about you. You used to dance. So I'll get did and put it before. Did you use to dance? Yes. Can you answer to that questions? Did you use to dance? Yes, I did, or no, I didn't. All right. So, um, some verbs we don't need to 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 put in use to. We can say I used to love ice cream, but you can simply say I loved ice cream or I loved to dance. To dance. Okay? You don't need to say I used to love to dance. Okay, I used to love to dance, but it's a it's it's a condition. It's a permanent thing during that period of time. Okay? I loved to dance. All right? I had I had a boyfriend or a girlfriend. No, I didn't. I didn't have. I didn't have one. Okay. Of course, you can say, I used to have a girlfriend. I used to have a boyfriend. But again, you can say, I had a girlfriend when I was a child. All right? Or I lived in the farm. I lived in the farm. Again, not me. I didn't live in the farm. But okay, you can say I used to live in the farm. It's correct, but it's also correct. So, why? Love, had, and live. It's correct to say the normal way. Because here we are talking about stative verb. Stative verbs. Okay? For stative verbs, you have the option to use in the normal way. Okay? You have this option. But for dynamic or action verbs, not the case. Okay? So, I used to I used to wake up early, to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to school. All right, I used to wake up at 6 a.m. This is a so-called dynamic verb or action verb. So in this case, used to. All right, or I used to go to school by bike. By bike. All right, I used to go to school by bike. So again, go is a dynamic verb. All right, so now correct this sentence. My father drove me to school when I was a child. When I was a child, my father drove me to school. Okay or not? No. Remember, drove is a dynamic verb. So my father used to drive me to school. All right? Can you think of other examples of things in the past from your childhood? It's important to notice that when we use to plus verb, okay? That's the form. So we are talking about, this is timeline, this is now, and we are considering a period of time back in the past. In the past. So in this period of time could be, for example, your childhood time, okay? Or in my case, my college time, okay, 4 or 5 years of college time, but we need to consider it's a period of time in the past. So we can talk about uh, actions, activities, or habits in this past time. And to talk about those habits and actions, used to plus verb. Okay? So habits. Of course, we can also talk about routine. When we talk about routine, there are some expressions or adverbs like always, every day, never, and so on. So, to express routine, we have would. So, for example, I would never I would never walk to school. To school. I would never walk to school in my school time, in my childhood. I would go to school every day by bicycle. Yes, because it wasn't too far, but it wasn't too close to my house either. All right. So, again, routine. It's preferable to say would and not used to. We use used to more for habits. Okay? So, let's practice a little more on would. There we go. Would. Okay. When I was learning to play the piano, I practice every evening. Hmm? What's the answer? I would practice every evening. Okay. At university, Michael studied until late at night. At university, Michael would study until late at night. It was a routine, okay, not a simple habit. They not eat spicy food when they were young. They wouldn't wouldn't gosh wouldn't eat spicy food when they were young. Okay, they would never eat spicy food. Before you bought a car, how Chanana travel you to work? Now it's a question. For the question, would comes first. Would How would you travel travel to work before you bought a car? All right. So again, it's not a habit, it's a routine. Let's see. Excellent, excellent. Would study, excellent, excellent. All right. Would practice. Well tried. Okay. When I was learning to play the piano, I would practice every. Okay, I see the difference. It's because in British English, practice with S. All right. Well done. Mm-hmm. There you go. Would you travel? The correct answer would and travel. Very nice. So, uh, this is it for now. Yes, so again, those are the things for you to tell me about your childhood time. So I hope you enjoy. Have a good time. See you next.